Hi, this is Jonnie. I'm coming with our Turnaround Tuesday Bible study, and today I'm doing a song. It's a song that I wrote, way back in around 1959 or 1960. I was about 21 years old. And have you ever felt like you didn't have what you really needed, and especially what you wanted? During this time in my life, I was married, which I've been married for this month will be 64 years, this coming Saturday, to the same man for 64 years. But we were in Arizona. We lived in San Manuel. We had one child named Debbie, and I was pregnant with our second child. Now, we had moved. My husband had pastored a little church in North Carolina for 2 years, and I loved it. Loved the people there, loved everything, but we lived in a little house that was not the best. We had running water that we ran in a bucket at the time. We had an outhouse, so we had 3 rooms and a bath. And it was not a beautiful house, I'll just say that, but we were comfortable and we made it. And then we moved to Arizona, and on the way, the man that sent for us said he tried to contact us, but we didn't have cell phones back then. He tried to contact us and tell us not to come because the little town where we were going to pastor a church had gone on strike. And all the members, but about 2, had left the community to go elsewhere to find work. Well, we were already there before we learned this good news. And while we were there, we stayed there for a year. My husband pastored the little church. Sometimes there were very few people there. Most of the time there were very few people there. Sometimes we had 12. Sometimes it was just my husband and me and our little daughter Debbie, who was 2.5 years old. During this time, I became pregnant with our second child, which was Mike, our son, our oldest son. And we had to move into the Sunday school rooms of the little church. It was a beautiful little church, but it was small, and we had one small bedroom with a full-size bed and a small bed, a half bed for Debbie, and there was just barely room to walk between the furniture. There was no room for a baby crib or even a bassinet, and then we had a small kitchen and a little bathroom. There was no shower in it, but we were used to not having running water, so we were fine with it all. And then one day I had a little pity party. I sat down on the end of Debbie's bed, and I was thinking about where I lived and what am I going to do with this baby when it comes. I was looking forward to having another baby, but I was so concerned about where will I put the baby's bed and how will I take care of it in these small quarters. And I thought, I had a little pity party thinking, yeah, this is the story of my life. My daddy was a pastor. We moved around all over the country. We never had a home that was our home. It was what the church provided for us, and we made do. Daddy always fixed them up because Mom always insisted, Yates, I want you to tear down this wall, and I want you to put this here, and I want you to take this out, and I want you. She always changed the houses and made them very comfortable for us to live in, but they didn't belong to us. And so at this time I was thinking, I've never had a house that was my own, and I had this little pity party, and then suddenly I remembered that I had been to a church the night before, and this man spoke about heaven and how wonderful it's going to be. And I thought, you silly girl, you're sitting here feeling sorry for yourself, and yet you have a home in heaven. You have a mansion in heaven. The words to this song just came to me that day. I had never written a song, had never even tried to write a song, but I knew that God was giving me a song. So I grabbed paper and I wrote it down, and then I ran into the church where the piano, well, it was right there, ran into the sanctuary to the piano, and I played it and sang it. And this is that little song that God gave it to me that day. It's been an encouragement to me. I hope it'll be an encouragement to you. Now I have my own house. This house is ours, it's paid for, and I thank God that I do have a house here. But I still look forward to the one that I know is waiting me on the other side when this life is over. I'm going to sing it for you now. I have a mansion. In this world I've never had a home that I could call my own, but I've always moved about from house to house. Yet I know that someday yonder I shall have a mansion fair. Jesus said he would prepare it for me there. Yes, I'm going to a mansion when my life on earth is through. Jesus will be there to welcome me. Oh, won't you be there too? I will have a mansion fair when we gather over there. Jesus said he would prepare it for me soon. John said he saw the city where my mansion will be built. He said the gates are made of pearl, the streets are gold. He did not describe my mansion that the Lord said he would build, for it is too beautiful to ever be told. Yes, I'm going to a mansion when my life on earth is through. Jesus will be there to welcome me. Oh, won't you be there too? I will have a mansion fair when we gather over there. Jesus said he would prepare it for me soon. My father's a minister who preached the Word of God. And from place to place in this dark world, our feet have often trod. We didn't have a home that we could really call our own, but we were happy, for we were taught God is on the throne. And now my husband's a minister, and still I move about, trying to bring the lost to God with a song or with a shout. Oh no, I'm not complaining about this life I live. You see, it doesn't matter to me as long as I can give a wayward soul a helping hand, or help the lost to see. For someday, you understand, up there in heaven, I've a mansion waiting me. Yes, I'm going to a mansion when my life on earth is through. Jesus will be there to welcome me. Oh, won't you be there too? I will have a mansion fair when we gather when I make it to the other side, and we're all going to face God one day. We're all going to give an account for this life, for the deeds that we do in this body, and for our attitudes, for the words that we speak from our lips. God bless you today. Thank you for stopping by and listening to my song. It's about, 59 years old now, but it still has the message that God is preparing us a place if we're faithful to Him. Now, this little story is in one of my books. If you want to hear more about how I came to write this and more of the circumstances, it's in Kid's Daughter, the Preacher's Wife, under Jonnie, Kid, Whittington, and you can look it up on Amazon and purchase it. And I know it'll be a blessing to you, so buy my book today. Help me spread the word that Jesus is preparing us a place, and we will go there one day and meet Him, and we'll live forever in peace and prosperity, and whatever we need will be there. I'll see you again next week on Turnaround Tuesday. Bye for now.